This is Sid Roth saying, I have a vision. Now is the set time to blow the trumpet in Zion.
Blow a trumpet in Zion, sound it on the mountains. Blow a trumpet in Zion, for the day of the Lord is come.
Shalom, Mishpacha. Shalom, family. Mishpacha is a Hebrew word. It means family. And we're the Mishpacha, the family with a Jewish heart, made up of Jewish and non-Jewish people that are one new man in the Messiah, getting ready, Mishpacha, to blow the grandest shofar, the grandest trumpet in Zion. We want everyone, everywhere to hear the good news. We want everyone, everywhere to be red hot for the Messiah. On yesterday's broadcast, I told you about my background, raised in a traditional Jewish family, bar mitzvah, proud of being Jewish, little turned off on the hypocrisy I saw in the dryness of the tradition that I saw. But don't get me wrong, I would have fought you if you said anything against Jewish people. Proud of my heritage, just didn't like the practice a whole lot. And as a young man, my big goal in life was to be a millionaire. When I reached age 29, because my goal was to be a millionaire by age 30, I realized I didn't stand a chance. So I resigned from being a stockbroker at Merrill Lynch. I left my wife and daughter. I went searching for some sort of happiness. I wanted some happiness. I'd written a song as a young man called There Must Be Something More. And that's what the cry of my heart was. There must be something more. And so I went searching. I thought, well, I got married early. I'll go out to the singles bars, and I'm going to have fun. Well, I'll tell you something. I had sort of an image of this. If at night, when the music is blasting and people are drinking and having fun in these singles bars, if you'd ever turn the lights up, you'd probably see the unhappiest people on the face of this earth. No. There was a little bit of fun, but it was a nothing. It was a zero. So I went searching. Well, there must be something in this life that'll bring me happiness. I can't have that $1 million. Now, I would have been a millionaire had I just stayed at Merrill Lynch on the stock options that I had at that time. But being a millionaire at age 50 or 60, that didn't interest me. I wanted to be a millionaire at age 30, and it was slipping away. And I remember one of my salesmen said to me, Sid, I have a friend that has no psychic ESP type of ability. And he took a meditation course, and now he knows things that have never been programmed into his mind. It's ESP. It's wonderful. And so I said, well, I'd like to meet your friend. And I really wanted to meet him. I drove from Washington, D.C. to New Jersey to meet his friend. And I said, I want to give you a test. I'm going to give you the name of someone you've never heard of, and I want you to tell me about this person. And I gave him the name of a man that I knew that had recently committed suicide and shot himself in the head. And this is what he said, and there's no way he could have known that. And this is what he said to me. I see a light going very rapidly towards a man's head, and I see it exploding inside. Could he have been shot in the head with a bullet? And I knew that this man didn't guess anything. I knew that he knew something, and I felt if I could operate the same way he did, I could then make $1 million, and then I could be happy. I told you I'm a pretty logical type of person. And so I couldn't wait to take that course. I took the course, and at the end of the course, I thought to myself, well, I believe this thing works, but it's not going to work on me. I mean, I don't feel any different. They taught me how to lower my brain waves, sort of like when someone goes to sleep or is hypnotized, through mental exercises. That's what all of these courses are. They teach you how to become extremely passive. And when you're at your most passive state, they tell you to invite an imaginary friend inside of you. They called it a counselor. They said this counselor would only do good, would be your servant. I thought it was a bunch of malarkey, to be candid with you, but they told me if it didn't work, they'd give me my money back. So I followed what they said. I invited this counselor inside of me. They said he'd have a name. You could name him. And at the end of the class, they gave me a test. If I failed the test, I could either take the class again or I'd get my money back. Well, I thought I'd get my money back, to be candid with you. And they gave me the name of someone I'd never heard of. And they said, what's wrong with this person? And I was about ready to say, I don't know, when I saw like a stick figure in my mind, and it was a female, and I saw an X over one of her breasts. And I said, could she have cancer of the left breast? And the guy looked at me and said, that's exactly what she has. And I realized that I had tapped into something that I hadn't tapped in before. And I was very excited because, again, I could use this power to make $1 million and be happy. And I got something more than I bargained for. The power started increasing, and I thought that was wonderful. I mean, I got to the point. It's sort of like when someone uses a Ouija board. You remember Ouija boards? Or they have games out now, Dungeons and Dragons, and lots of games like these things out today. But on the Ouija board, you use it, and if you find out it works, you'll find out you don't even need the Ouija board anymore because the spirit that is guiding your hand is now inside of you. But, of course, I didn't understand those things back then. Most people don't even understand that today. They have squeaky clean terms for these things today. They're called New Age. Doesn't that sound a lot better than a cult? They called it a cult when I was involved in it. And so I told you the power started increasing. I thought this was wonderful. I mean, I begin to think something, and it would happen. For instance, I would think, I want to go into business for myself. And just minutes later, a man comes into my office that I knew very casually, and he said, Sid, my partners and I have started a new business, and we have some extra office space. If you should ever want to go into business for yourself, I will give you free rent, free secretary, free telephone, till you get on your feet. And I thought, wow, this power is wonderful. I didn't know this at the time. This man was dealing with a power too, but it was very different than the power I was dealing with. He was one of these born-again, fanatic Christians. And God spoke to him. And God told him to come see me and offer me that free office. I thought it was my power, but it was really his power. So I got in that office, and boy, did I get the shock of my life. His business partner just returned from Israel, Gentile. Get this. He spent a year working as a volunteer, no money, as a volunteer in Israel because he loved the Jewish people. I mean, that's craziness. Here I'm Jewish, and I didn't even want to go to Israel. Not only that, this businessman has on his desk, I'd never seen this type of thing for a businessman before. This certainly wasn't my role model. A Bible, a big Bible on his desk. Worse than that, he's reading it. I mean, I had a Bible. I got it when I was bar mitzvah. I hadn't seen it since, you know. And he's reading it. I mean, how's he going to do any business? Then they started to have prayer meetings. And guess who they were praying for? That Jew in the occult in the side office. And so then they invited me to their prayer meetings. And, of course, I thought I was really smart back then. I thought this was a cute thing. It's so stupid. I'm almost ashamed to tell you it. I said, my religion is tree worshiping, and I only have one commandment: don't harm a tree. And since I'm the only hypocrite here, and I used to make fun of them, and they put up with it. I'm amazed looking back. They put up with my nonsense. Until one day, I walked into the office, and I'm feeling pretty good. And this guy I was telling you about that just got back from Israel, this crazy fanatic Christian. He walks up to me and he says, Sid, you are involved in spiritual adultery. And I've had about as much as I guess I really did reach his boiling point just by giving him all my nonsense. He said, look, in your own Jewish scriptures, God condemns your involvement in the occult or the New Age, except he didn't use that term back then. And I said, no, he doesn't. In the classes I'm taking, they have priests and they have nuns. I mean, they're ecumenical. He said, no, in your own Jewish Bible, God calls it an abomination. I said, show me. So he turned to the book of Deuteronomy, the 18th chapter. He said, here, you read it for yourself. So I turned to Deuteronomy, the 18th chapter. I started reading here from the 9th verse. Let me read this to you. When you come into the land which the Lord your God is giving you, you shall not learn to follow the abominations of those nations. There's that word abomination. Next verse, 10th verse. There shall not be found among you anyone who makes his son or daughter pass through the fire. Well, I never sacrificed a child through fire. But you know what the modern version of that is today? Abortion. There's no difference. What does God call it? Abomination. Or one who practices witchcraft. Wait a second. Samantha and all these cute little witch things they have on television and white witchcraft. No, it doesn't distinguish white, black. It says it's an abomination for anyone who practices witchcraft, or a soothsayer, or one who interprets omens, or a sorcerer. That word, by the way, you get the word pharmacy from, or drugs from, or one who conjures spells, or a medium, or a spiritist, or one who communicates with the dead. For all who, you ever hear of channeling? It's so popular. Well, God calls it communicating with the dead. For all who do these things are an abomination of the Lord. Now, let me tell you, I didn't believe that this Bible came from God. But here I'd messed up my family. I'd messed up my job. And maybe I'm being messed up with God. I don't like this one bit, but I'm mulling it over, and I'm thinking about this, and I decide I'm just going to go for a ride. I'll pick up right here on tomorrow's broadcast. Mishpocha, my entire life story is in a book. The title is the same title of the song I wrote many years ago. There Must Be Something More, the spiritual rebirth of a Jew. It's designed to give to your friends that are ensnared in the New Age. And whether they're Jewish or not, it's going to have to put the same fear of God within them that came into me, and hopefully the fear of the devil. We're asking $10, postage paid. The book is There Must Be Something More. Call our 800 number right now and order the book. There Must Be Something More.
If you would like to receive a complimentary copy of our bi-monthly teaching newsletter, cassette catalog, or information about becoming Mishpocha, write to me, Sid Roth, Post Office Box 1918, Brunswick, Georgia 31521. Or call our order-only line, 1-800-548-1918. To place a credit card order, call anytime, 1-800-548-1918. For all other calls, the number is 912-265-2500. That's 912-265-2500. For a cassette tape of this week's broadcast, send $5 to Sid Roth, Post Office Box 1918, Brunswick, Georgia 31521. Look us up on the web, www.sidroth.org. That's www.